Parashat Teitzei. It's packed. Almost every few psukim or every posuk in some chapters is another mitzvah, another awesome idea that can occupy our thoughts for many, many hours. But there's an interesting theme running through the early part of the Sedra, and that is building a home. First, it's the home of the bird, that bird nest that you happen to see on the journey, and you just have a craving for some eggs and you have to send away the mother bird. And then it's the home that we build. Ki tivneh bait chadash va'asita ma'aker legagecha. You build a new home. Back in those days, and even to some extent today in some parts of the world, the flat roof of a home is used, and so the obligation is you must build a fence around that roof so that no danger should happen on your property. When thinking about the Jewish world, we know that the center of Judaism isn't the shul, it's the home. And that's obvious for us, but it's really not obvious for so many others. Lots of different religions will say their holy place, the house of prayer, is the center of everything they do. Because in their home, they don't have laws of food, they don't have laws of purity, their homes don't have obvious religious symbols on every doorpost, don't have full libraries of Jewish books. So what seems obvious for us, that our homes are the center, may not be obvious for all. But we can go deeper than that, and I want to share with you an incredible insight from Rav Hirsch this week. It's worth me reading it to you and just learning this together with you. So we contrast the home that you build, for the birds build, and their self-preservation instincts with that of human beings. But man is to build his house from the beginning with consideration for all his contemporary and future fellow men. Whereas animals build shelter for themselves, we build ourselves shelter, but it's not only for us. We have to think about others who might use our shelter, might be invited into our shelter, and God forbid, shouldn't never injure themselves in our place, in our homes. In the whole sphere of his home, he may allow nothing which might be dangerous for anybody. Our homes are not just a barrier against the forces of the world to protect those nearest and dearest to us. They must be that barrier for everybody, that safe haven. At all his agricultural work to make food, all his activities to master nature, and in his human outer appearance, he has to keep the great lawgiver of the world in his mind. Focus on Hashem constantly. You see, so many just think religion is limited to the house of worship, moments of prayer. And the home is where you go just to kick back and be normal. We don't need to worry about God in the home. So we have our religious items, but they don't occupy our thoughts too often. They're just there. They don't do anything. But Rav Hirsch is telling us our homes must be where God is felt too. There's no cutting off. In our business work, in our scientific work, Hashem is everywhere. Whose creative will has created him with free will to obey his laws, just as he made animals and plants without free will, instinctively to give obedience to those laws. Above all, man is constantly to admonish himself that wherever his calling may take him, it's only by the self-conquering faithfulness to Hashem that he must prove his strength and human worth. We can prove ourselves so often in so many areas of life. Think about our homes being the place where we remind ourselves, protect your loved ones, but also make sure that God forbid no one else gets damaged. And that is part of our connection to Hashem. Constant, engaged, all the time, aware of our potential, which then leads to our greatness. What a great way to prepare for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, to remind ourselves of our potential and our greatness too. Shabbat Shalom.